Morena Koto, welcome to story time for today, and welcome to our bubble class that have started at school. It's alert level 3, so we've got a small group of students who are at school at the moment. So a big hi to you guys as well, and welcome everyone. Today, it's the first day of spring, which is awesome. It's another beautiful day, blue skies. Hey, it's going to be a good one. Today, we are reading The Misunderstood Shark. And then we're going to continue on with some James and the Giant Peach. And good morning, Bubble Class. I've just got a little message from Mr. P, who's there at the moment. Hey, great to see you guys. All right, first up, we're going to start with Misunderstood Shark. Here we go. Underwater World with Bob, broadcasting live in 3, 2, 1. Hello, people. Today on Underwater World with Bob, fun facts about shark. Shark. The people are watching. Don't eat that fish in front of the people. The people can see me. You misunderstood. I wasn't going to eat him. He's going, help. I was just showing him my new tooth. Fun fact about sharks, they can grow and lose 30,000 teeth in their lifetime. The little guy's going, can I faint now? They're going, 30,000. Shark's tooth fairy must be exhausted. Fine, Shark, maybe you weren't going to eat that fish. Shark? Where's Shark? Oh, no! Shark, not the baby seal. Don't eat the baby seal in front of the people. The people? You misunderstood. I wasn't going to eat her. I was just helping her find her family. Thanks, Mr. Shark. You're my favorite. You're my favorite, too. Fun fact about that, a great white shark can eat 22,000 pounds of food in a year, and seals are their favorite. What did the shark say after he met a seal? Burp. People, I may have misunderstood Shark. Shark? What? With Shark now? He's going, sniff. What is it, Shark? Sniff. What do you smell? Sniff. Tell us what you smell, Shark. I smell blood. Oh, fun fact about that. Some sharks can smell a single drop of blood and a million drops of water. Forget the fact he smells blood. Get out of his way. No, Shark, don't eat the people in front of the people. Blood, 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 blood. I brought boo-boo strips. Shark, run for your lives. Wait. I was just trying to help, but the people misunderstood me too. The ocean gets its saltiness from the tears of misunderstood sharks. I read that somewhere. All 3 of my little squid hearts are breaking. Poor old shark. I wasn't going to eat the people. I wasn't going to bite him a little. People, I know sharks can seem scary, but they're actually thousands of times more likely to be bitten by another person than bitten by a shark. That's a fact. People bite each other? Maybe they taste like chicken. And there you have it, folks. Sharks are really just misunderstood. I need a hug. Don't look at us. When it comes to hugs, squids stink. Because if you squeeze us, we ink. I suppose I could. Hug time. This is nice. This is nice. You smell good. Uh-oh. I can't watch. Gulp. You ate me. I can't really believe you ate me. In front of the people. You misunderstood again. I didn't eat you. I'm just playing hide and seek with you. Wanna play? Ah! Goodbye, people. Tune in next time for more fun facts and an inside view of our underwater world. When you don't get tickles. That's a wrap. Now, I don't really know if Shark did actually eat the jellyfish. Well, I hope that he hasn't. All right, we are going to carry on with James and the Giant Peach. Yesterday we left it with the centipede was dancing around, singing his song, and then the centipede, who had begun dancing wildly round the deck during this song, had suddenly gone too close to the downward curving edge of the peach. And for 3 awful seconds, he stood there teetering on the brink, swinging his legs frantically in circles in an effort to stop him from falling over backward into space. But before anyone could reach him, down he went. He gave a shriek of terror, and he fell. And the others, rushing to the side and peering over, saw his long, poor body tumbling over and over through the air, getting smaller and smaller until it was out of sight. "Silkworm!" yelled James. "Quick, start spinning!" The silkworm sighed, for she was still very tired from spinning all that silk for the seagulls, but she did as she was told. "I'm going down after him," cried James, grabbing the silk string as it started coming out of the silkworm and tying it to the end of it around his waist. "The rest of you will hold on to Silkworm so I don't have to pull her over with me. And later on, if you feel 3 tugs on the string, start hauling me back up again." He jumped and he went tumbling down after the centipede, down, 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 towards the sea below. And you can imagine how quickly the silkworm had to spin to keep up with the speed of his fall. We'll never see either of them again," cried Ladybird. Oh dear, just when we were all so happy too." Miss Spider, the glowworm, and the ladybird all began to cry. So did the earthworm. "I don't care a bit about the centipede," the earthworm sobbed, "but I really did love the little boy." Very softly, the old green grasshopper started to play the funeral march on his violin, and by the time he had finished, everyone, including himself, was in a flood of tears. Suddenly, there came 3 sharp tugs on the rope. "Pull!" shouted the old green grasshopper. "Everyone get behind me and pull!" There was about a mile of string to be hauled in, but they were all worked like mad, and in the end, over the side of the peach, there appeared a dripping wet James with a dripping wet centipede clinging to him tightly with all 42 of his legs. "He seen me!" gasped the centipede. "He swam around in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean until he found me." "My dear boy," the old green grasshopper said, patting James on the back, "I do congratulate you." "My boots!" cried the centipede. "Just look at my precious boots. They're ruined by the water." "Be quiet," the earthworm said. "You're lucky to be alive." "Are we still going up and up?" asked James. "We certainly are," answered the old green grasshopper, "and it's beginning to get dark." "I know. It'll soon be night." "Why don't we all go down below and keep warm until tomorrow morning?" Miss Spider suggested. "No," the old green grasshopper said. "I think that would be very unwise. It'll be safer if we all stay up here through the night and keep watch. Then if anything happens, we shall anyway be ready for it." Chapter 27. Oh, that's a relief that the centipede's okay. James Henry Trotter and his companions crouched close together on top of the peach as the night began closing in around them. Clouds like mountains towered high above their heads on all sides, mysterious, menacing, overwhelming. Gradually it grew darker and darker, and then a pale 3/4 moon came up over the tops of the clouds and cast an airy light over the whole scene. The giant peach swayed gently from side to side as it floated along, and the hundreds of silky white strings going upward from its stem were beautiful in the moonlight. So also was the great flock of seagulls overhead. There was not a sound anywhere. Traveling upon the peach was not in the least like traveling in an aeroplane. The aeroplane comes clattering and roaring through the sky, and whatever might be lurking secretly up there in the great cloud mountains goes running for cover at its approach. That is why people who travel in aeroplanes never see anything. But the peach, yes, the peach was a soft, stealthy traveler, making no noise at all as it floated along. And several times during the long, silent night ride, high up in the middle of the ocean, in the moonlight, James and his friends saw things that no one had ever seen before. Once, as they drifted silently past a massive white cloud, they saw on top of it a strange, tall, wispy-looking thing that were about twice the height of ordinary men. They were not easy to see at first because they were almost as white as the cloud itself, but as the peach sailed closer, it became obvious that these things were actually living creatures. Tall, wispy, wraith-like, shadowy white creatures who looked as though they were made of a mixture of cotton wool and candy floss and thin white hairs. "Ooh," the ladybird said. "I don't like this at all." "Shh, James whispered back. Don't let them hear you. They must be cloud men. Cloud men, they murmured, huddling closer together. Oh dear, oh dear. I'm glad I'm blind and can't see them, the earthworm said, or I will possibly scream. I hope they don't turn around and see us, Miss Spider stammered. Do you think they could eat us? The earthworm asked. Why would they eat you? The centipede answered, grinning. They'll cut you up like a salami and eat you in thin slices. The poor earthworm began to quiver all over with fright. But what are they doing? The old green grasshopper whispered. I don't know, James answered softly. Let's watch and see. The cloud men were all standing in a group and they were doing something peculiar with their hands. First, they would reach out, all of them at once, and grab handfuls of cloud. Then they would roll these handfuls of cloud in their fingers until they turned into what looked like large white marbles. Then they would toss the marbles to one side and quickly grab more bits of cloud and start over again. It was all very silent and mysterious. The pile of marbles beside them kept growing larger and larger. Soon there was a truckload of them. There at least. They must be absolutely mad, the centipede said. There's nothing to be afraid of here. Be quiet, you pest, the earthworm whispered. We shall all be eaten if they see us. But the cloudmen were much too busy with what they were doing to have noticed the great peach floating silently up beside them. When the watchers on the peach saw one of the cloudmen raise his long, wispy arms above his head, they heard him shouting, All right, boys, that's enough. Get the shovels. And all the other cloudmen immediately let out a strange, high-pitched whoop of joy and started jumping up and down and waving their arms in the air. Then they picked up enormous shovels and rushed over to the pile of marbles and began shoveling them as fast as they could go over the side of the cloud into space. Down they go, they chanted as they were. Down they go, hail and snow, freezes and sneezes and snows will blow. It's hailstones, whispered James excitedly. They're making hailstones, and now they are showering them down on the people in the world below. Hailstones? The centipede said. That's ridiculous. It's summertime. You don't have hailstones in summertime. They're practicing for the winter, James told him. I don't believe it, shouted the centipede, raising his voice. Shh, the others whispered, and James said softly, For heaven's sake, centipede, don't make so much noise. The centipede roared with laughter. Those imbeciles couldn't hear anything, he cried. They're deaf as doorknobs, you watch. And before anyone could stop him, he had cupped his front feet to his mouth and was yelling at the cloud men as loud as he could. Idiots, he yelled. Nincompoops, halfwits, blunderheads. What on earth do you think you're doing over there? The effect was immediate. The cloud men jumped round as if they'd been stung by wasps, and when they saw the great golden peach floating past them not 50 yards away in the sky, they gave a yelp of surprise and dropped their shovels to the ground. And there they stood with the moonlight streaming down all of them, absolutely motionless, like a group of tall, giant, white, hairy statues, staring and staring at the gigantic fruit as it went by. The passengers on the peach, all except for the centipede, sat frozen with terror, looking back at the cloudman and wondering what was going to happen next. You've done it, you loathsome pest, whispered the earthworm to the centipede. I'm not frightened of them, shouted the centipede, and to show everyone once again that he wasn't, he stood up at his full height and started dancing about, making insulting signs at the cloudmen with all 42 of his legs. This evidently infuriated the cloudmen beyond belief. All at once, they spun round and grabbed great handfuls of hailstones and rushed to the edge of the cloud and started throwing them at the peach, shrieking with fury all the time. Look out! Cried James. Quick, lie down, lie flat on the deck. It was lucky they did. A large hailstone can hurt you as much as a rock or a lump of lead if it is thrown hard enough. And my goodness, how those cloudmen could throw. The hailstones came whizzing through the air like bullets from a machine gun, and James could hear them smashing against the sides of the peach and burying themselves in the peachy flesh with a horrible squelching noise. Plop, 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 and then bing, 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 as they bounced off the poor ladybird's shell because she couldn't lie as flat as the others. And then crack, as one of them hit the centipede right on the nose, and crack again as another one hit him somewhere else. Ow! He cried, ow, ow, stop, stop, stop! But the cloudmen had no intention of stopping. James could see them rushing out about on the clouds like a lot of huge hairy ghosts, picking up hailstones from the pile and dashing to the edge of the cloud, hurling the hailstones at the peach, dashing back again to get more. And then when the pile of stones was all gone, they simply grabbed handfuls of cloud and made as many more as they wanted, and much bigger ones now, some of them as large as cannonballs. Quickly, cried James, down the tunnel or we'll be wiped out. There was a rush for the tunnel entrance, and half a minute later, everybody was safely downstairs inside the stone of the peach, trembling with fright and listening to the noise of the hailstones as they came crashing against the side of the peach. I'm a wreck, groaned the centipede. I'm wounded all over. It shows you right, said the earthworm. Would somebody kindly look and see if my shell is cracked? The ladybird said. Give us some light, shouted the old green grasshopper. I can't, wailed the glowworm. They've broken my bulb. Then put in another one, the centipede said. Be quiet a moment, said Jane. Listen, I do believe they're not hitting us anymore. They all stopped talking and listened. Yes, the noise had ceased. The hailstones were no longer smashing against the peach. We've left them behind. The seagulls must have pulled us away out of danger. Hooray, let's go up and see. Cautiously, with James going first, they all climbed back up the tunnel. James poked his head out and looked around. It's all clear, he called. I can't see them anywhere. Chapter 28 we'll carry on with tomorrow. Whew, that is a relief. That centipede is just one huge bundle of trouble. And I think they're lucky to escape that. Well, I hope you enjoyed story time today. We'll catch up again tomorrow. Hope bubble class is going well and you guys enjoyed the story as well. See you tomorrow. Ka kite anō.